This is to show there was a young man in Atlanta. This is what he had to do 15 years ago when he came here and had a culture shock. Every morning I wake up, I give thanks first for waking up to another day, and the day for me to be the best of me, and with compassion and with empathy, and to be able to serve not only myself, but to others in the community. When I wake up in the morning, I clean myself. I like to listen to my chants, my prayers, and I like to do my yoga. I did this since I was a child in Africa every day, and it makes the day so easy for me, and it makes it sound and safe for me. So I always have to remember to be in tune with nature. And how do I do that? I do that simply by waking up in the morning and setting my intentions right and make sure that I am in tune with nature, that the universe is aware of me and that I am aware of the universe. Path is the pathfinder. The wolf is the pathfinder. And he guards the home of the master teachers. The master teachers, they create the path. The wolf go find information, gather information, and bring it back to the clan. The community and the people that was on that path, we are coming back to the clan to bring this information that's very vital to many. A lot of people don't know that there's a path like this, and a simple path. A path that could help you secure the fundamentals, food, clothing, and shelter. The path that would teach you how to cultivate, how to create, and how to construct. Because now you could cultivate your food for you, your family, your neighbors. You could create the clothes, and you could construct the shelter. These 3 C's also allow you to be able to use your 4 God-given tools, which is your hands. Well, I have a tribe here, and my elders back home told me that when I come to America, that in the back of my mind, I should bear that I'm here on a pilgrimage. Our brothers and sisters was taken out of our backyard. Some travel came here on their own. Some were brought here on slave ships. After they finished their service that they came here to do, worked in plantations, and they told them they were so-called free, without the incentives, the tools, or the environment, That sounds to me more like a people that's been abandoned. And a lot of them kept searching and searching for their ways, and some found their ways and were able to give their children the incentive, the tool, the environment, and the culture so they're able to manage themselves. But some are still in the fluctuation and searching and finding their way. And a lot of people, including my own people, call their own brothers and sisters homeless people. It's kind of unfortunate to me, but that's also a lack of understanding and lack of knowledge. I came here and I was first and foremost, I was very impressed with what I found in Atlanta as far as, progress in the city, and also black people being part of all activities here in law, in medical, you name it. So as a progressive young black man, I was inspired by that. I wanted to be part of that. But I also saw how it was also a lot of suffering in this city. A lot of homelessness. And it's not the norm where I was coming out of. And if I have to help and alleviate some of that suffering, to my new city, and I have a little bit of experience to be able to do that, I think it was very important for me to take those steps, start those initiatives.
This is Museum Network News. Hi, I'm John Molesky. We have breaking news from Capitol Hill. Our correspondent is standing by with a live report.
Peace worldwide. This is Ebrima, your street journalist. I'm over here in Washington, D.C. at the Museum of Journalism. And also, I'm like to let y'all know worldwide, the street journalist is working on food, clothing, and shelter. It's a documentary coming early next year. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that update. Keep it right here on Museum Network News for all the latest information.
It's one of our babies right here, the street journalism. Street journalism is the model and paradigm of journalism. Right now in the media, y'all hear about this fake news and that news and the other news. But street journalism was way out. It's almost 10 years now. And what street journalism means, like I said, is the model and paradigm of journalism. And stories gotta be compelling. Stories gotta come from your heart. Stories cannot just be for profit at all times. There's a street journalist in every community, in every neighborhood, that's capable and educated and well experienced to tell the story of what's happening in his community, in his country, in his village, wherever he is, in the most brilliant way. The film is what got me started. It's what got me doing all this stuff. Being inspired of a fluctuation of a people, as many as you have never seen before. A lot of so-called homeless people. And to me, that's an untapped resource. If they would allow me, I'll have them all growing food. I'll bring them all to the farm and give them a hand up instead of a hand out. It just make me drop everything. What end up happening is that I grab a camera and I start recording voices.
Life is hard up the street. Brother's about to start a fight because one of the guys supposedly tried to steal the baby's food. So it's food scarce out here, man, And I ain't no plantations out here, It's the concrete jungle. So it's rough out here, man.
They not on no drugs. You give them money, they'll throw them.
And some of the people I was taking pictures of, they would hesitate sometimes and ask, "What are you taking pictures for?" with an aggressive voice. And I'll say, "Well, I wanted to take a picture of you and record your voice because I want to take it to Africa. I'm going to take it home, back home." And you should see how these people just lit up to me, just light up, big old light just come out of them. That's on Food, Clothing, and Shelter, Volume 1. It took a long time, took 10 years. Like I say, I couldn't stop, I couldn't do nothing. I had to walk and do this. A lot of family members just snubbed me, cut me off, so I had to be by myself. I went all the way by myself. I wasn't attached to anything. It left me here for 18 years. My grandmother, she's my inspiration. I love that woman, and I always refer her to my mother, that she has to do what her mother did. I have seen this woman attend to what I would say estimately the size of 2 football fields. And this woman was by herself. And when I go visit her in this remote place, she had stacked up crops in bags to the roof. And as a child, that gave me a sense of security from hunger. So when I came here and see people experiencing hunger, I said, wait a minute, they must have not been doing what grandma did. Because I knew it was a lot of people in need. Including myself, I needed to learn a skill that would help sustain me. And I also know a lot of my brothers, for silly reasons, they have felonies. And when they come out, they're not going to find jobs. How are they going to survive? You're going to have to make a job. Some of my brothers and sisters, like me, I looked for a job for 6 months. I didn't have a job. I didn't have no employment. So I decided I have to make employment. I would have starved to death. So dynamic living is to encourage you that you are able to carry your backpack around with all your tools in it, and that backpack would be your workshop and your shop at the same time. So that's how I learned to make the bracelets, and it had been employment for me since. I have brothers who are jewelers. They have all their tools and their wire in their bag. They don't need a store. Wherever they have a little space to stand up, they break their backpack, put it on the floor, start pulling tools out, making stuff, and the stuff is hanging all over them and they're selling it. Bracelets are getting real popular all over the place, and then I put the 3 notch on there: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So those bracelets did help give me employment and help fund the film, and also the community garden that we had in Stone Mountain, Roots of Change. And that has been my employment for the past maybe 7 years or more than that, and I'm very thankful for it. The Jollof Collective was the base and also a source of income to be able to sustain the projects. The Jollof Collective was also a little more than that, because it was a collective of artists, and to make an alliance with the artists. It fulfilled that. It did this job. It helped us with the farm, it helped us with the camaraderie. But at this time, I am ready to close the store. I'm ready to change the course back to the native land. So I would like to help some of these other brothers to also keep this store. I don't necessarily have to be here, but they have their own stores to be able to keep the tradition and let the people know there is still an African shop in Little 5 Points, that the culture haven't been nowhere. It still stays here because they appreciate it over there in Little 5. Yeah, and we appreciate them too. Over here in America, it's a lot of gun violence here, you see? So I don't want to be a victim of that or an accident, because I got so much in my hand and I want to fulfill these things. So it's very, very important that every morning I wake up and every night before I go to bed, I am very thankful, and I align myself with the universe, and I ask for empathy and compassion towards everybody that I'm gonna meet that day and I'm gonna do business with that day. And it always worked for me. So when I do that and I go out there, I will leave my house in peace, and I always come back to my house in peace. Because peace of mind is also priceless. But I also think the price that if you are to pay any price for, it is the price of setting your intentions and aligning with nature. my experience here had been a life-changing experience. It had been an awakening experience. It had made me a better person. It had made me who I am today because of the people I met here, the people that helped enrich my knowledge, the people that I helped enrich their knowledge. And so I think in Atlanta, a lot of us now have seen and understand the concept of food, clothing, and shelter. But as for me, now I am tired. It had took me 15 years. I am hurting a little bit. I have missed my parents, I have missed my brothers, my sisters, my village, and everything else. So now I am just ready to turn the course back to my native land. I think big change happens from small efforts. And I hope our little small efforts may help and contribute towards that change. Ashe.
You got to have food for your health and clothes. Here to keep esteem for yourself, son. Shelter, a place to lay for rest when you stressed over life. Cause it's trife and ain't no God gonna help you need food.
Pay the bills, put food on the table, and put clothes on your back, you understand? Pay the bills, put food on the table, and put clothes on your back, you understand?
What do power mean? Our team seem to think it means sour cream. Cause our dreams got us fiending for the power, son. And Huey P said political power come from the barrel of the gun. What do power mean? I believe in thieving and smoking weed. Everything happens for a reason. I hope my seed grow up and get even. It's open season, and if you poor and black, you know the reason. Yeah. We out here fighting for the basics.
Trying to get all we can get.
Trying to get food on the table. Clothes on our back. Pay these bills. Jack presidents. That's to come up for us. Food, clothes, and shelter. Ain't no need to even say nothing else.
Word up.
And whatever may happen,